On today's episode of Unfolding Journeys, we have Lauren O'Connell with us. Lauren is a recent breast cancer survivor, the beauty editor of Cosmopolitan Middle East, a skincare expert and founder of the soon-to-be launched Three of Cups, a spiritually charged beauty and wellness brand rooted in science and soul. After being diagnosed with breast cancer, Lauren created her first product during chemotherapy, and she shares her stories with honesty and heart across her platform. With a background in engineering, nursing, and media, she blends intellect, intuition, and resilience to redefine what beauty means today. Welcome, Lauren, to Unfolding Journeys. We're so excited to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me. I feel so honored.
I can't wait to share your story with the world.
Oh, well, thank you so much for doing it.
Should we get started?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, what was going through your mind when you began formulating your first product during chemotherapy, and how did that creation process help you cope?
Well, when I was going through chemotherapy, I was really weak and I was very tired. I spent a lot of time on my bed, and honestly, my beauty brand is kind of what kept me going. Originally, I was planning to come out with a different product, and I was working on the formulation for that, but this little voice in the back of my head said, that's not the first product you should come out with. And I had had this idea for about 4 years. It was running in my mind, and I thought, you know what, I know that's the one I should do. So I just contacted the lab. I said, look, I love what we've created, but I need something different. And the lab said, oh my gosh, this lady, because I was so picky about the ingredients and getting so many different iterations of the formulas. So anyways, I just went with it and I started developing it during chemo. I was testing it on my skin and it was brilliant. I went through at least 30 different variations of my idea. It was completely custom made. I was talking with the manufacturers on Zoom, completely bald. And yeah, it was great. And it really gave me something to work towards. So I didn't feel like I was just stuck in sort of this energy of stasis. Instead, I still had this vision of something I wanted to do down the road. And I felt like I was actively working towards that goal.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And you're very spiritual, so to combine all of that and bring it all together, I can't wait to see what the product is.
I'm so excited.
Do you have a launch date yet?
October.
Okay.
So it's going to be sometime during October, which is just how things have gone. If you ever get into the business of manufacturing cosmetics or skincare products, it takes forever. It's a long process. There's just lots of delays, lots of waiting. And, I thought the brand was going to be an Aries, then I thought the brand was going to be a Cancer, and now it looks like it's going to be a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio.
It's a sign.
It's going to launch during October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So maybe it just kind of all comes together.
It's in perfect alignment then.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I love the name of your brand, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Three of Cups. I know that's something to do with tarot.
It is.
Could you explain what it means and how you came up with it?
Sure. So you're actually the first person to know the name of the brand.
Oh,
and I'm going to be launching, I believe next week, my website. And for people to come on as a landing page and just to be able to put their name and their email to get on the list. But I originally had a different name, and the name was Compass Beauty, like finding your compass. I had this lawyer to go through the whole trademarking process. A year later, the trademark came back rejected because Tommy Bahama owns the trademark, and that's what they trade all of their colognes or perfumes under. When I found that out, my husband was wearing a Tommy Bahama t-shirt. I was like, are you mocking me? Like, what is this? So, I liked the name, but I thought, I know I can think of something so much better. And I was driving down Sheikh Zayed Road. I personally am really into tarot. I love tarot. I read tarot. I've studied tarot. It's just this never-ending tool for, I would say, self-realization. And also, it's fun. I love getting tarot readings and everything. And I was just driving down Sheikh Zayed Road, and I was trying really hard to think about what name I should give my brand. I felt like that was the next big step I needed to take in formulating this brand. This was way before I got breast cancer. And all of a sudden the name Three of Cups came into my mind, and I thought, that's kind of perfect, because a lot of the brands nowadays, they have kind of quirky names.
Yeah.
And the quirky names are a bit catchy. And I love the Three of Cups tarot card. That's my favorite card. That's why it popped in my mind. And it's three women that are in a circle. They're dancing. They have chalices up in the air. It represents abundance, healing through women, healing through womanhood, which was so perfect for my breast cancer journey. And it represents joy, happiness, togetherness, and just all these really great things in life. Also, three is the triple goddess moon, which is a symbol I know you've seen a bunch. It's two crescent moons with a circle moon in the middle. So that represents the three phases of a woman's life: maiden, mother, and crone. I do not like the word crone, and so I have renamed them.
Sounds like
I know, it's terrible. My mom said, Lauren, you cannot lead with that with your brand. But I just recently, I made this amazing presentation to share with PRs and, you know, big beauty brand retailers down the road. But like, I think of the maiden as sort of the seeker. She's looking for, you know, she's just learning, right? She's in the newest phase of her life, and she's young. She's just seeking out, who am I? What am I about? And the middle one, I can't remember what I put into well, it doesn't matter. The middle one is sort of the awakener. And she's the one that is sort of stepping into her power, realizing who she is. She's had a lot of difficult experiences in life, a lot of great ones as well. And they've kind of, all these lessons and these learnings have created this very grounded, self-assured woman who is sick and tired of working like a dog and just wants to be spiritual, learn more about who she is, and at the same time put a lot of good into the world and into herself. And then the crone is the luminary. She's the wise woman, and she's had so many life experiences, and she has so much to share and so much to really also keep inside, and just this amazing era of just being completely self-satiated. So that was kind of my take on the maiden, mother, crone. Yeah, so that also, it's just the threes. It's like the three phases of life. The threes are there's a lot of things in threes. Yeah. Everything comes in threes. So
tell me about it.
So well, my breast cancer journey: surgery, chemo, radiation. So, you know, I just feel so connected to this card, to these ideologies, and I love infusing that into my beauty brand. It's just very me.
And it's unique as well.
Yeah.
We need more authentic brands now, as opposed to just social media brands, really.
And I think people are looking for that, especially as time goes on, because now I'm going to get super spiritual here, but the world is evolving and we're moving into this new frequency. And I think that brands like mine, or, you know, they could be clothing brands, homeware brands, anything. But I think people are going to start gravitating towards things that are spiritually infused and grounded. And that's certainly what Three of Cups is.
No, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
With the way everything is going, you can definitely feel the shift.
Yeah, exactly.
And the right people feel the shift.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So in tarot, there's another card called the Tower. And it's kind of a jarring looking card, but that's all about things that are not on stable grounds are going to fall apart. And then what you're left with is this beautiful white space to build new stable foundations on.
It's funny you say that, because I just recently had my first tarot reading.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and Tower was one of the cards that came up.
That's actually a beautiful thing to happen.
So it's good to know.
When I had my first tarot reading, I also got the Tower.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I think people start to find this sort of thing when they're going through tough times, or they're going through periods where they're questioning a lot of things, and that's usually a Tower moment in their lives. And with the Tower card, you're really getting rid of everything that no longer serves you so you can step into this new, incredibly powerful version of yourself that has so much wisdom from all of the pain and the traumatic things and also all the great things that have happened in her life.
So true.
Yeah.
I think we're going to need a separate chat post-interview so we can talk all things spiritual.
I'm here for it.
That.
I love spiritual chats.
Me too. How has your definition of beauty changed since your diagnosis and recovery? And how is that reflected in the ethos of Three of Cups?
Ooh, great question. So, prior to my diagnosis, I was already in my 40s. And so I think when you head into your 40s, for a lot of women, you just stop caring so much about, not that I didn't really care about the male gaze. I've been married for a long time, but I would say also maybe the female gaze, like you just don't really care about impressing people anymore. And I would rather be in my sweatpants and a t-shirt than, doing an hour of makeup and hair. So I was already heading into a newly defined a new definition of beauty, which would be something that is just more relaxed, something that is more a cleaner aesthetic, and also just more of a just be you type of aesthetic. And I was starting to really understand what that meant. I didn't feel so pressured anymore to conform to what I was seeing on Instagram. And it never really worked out for me to begin with. I tried, but it just didn't work. Like the overly heavily contoured faces with the, remember the Instagram eyebrows?
It's not my cup of tea either.
I had lots of extensions in my hair and just all this superficial stuff that I thought made me look beautiful. Then as I was getting a little bit older, I was shedding a lot of that. Then I got diagnosed with breast cancer. And when I found out I needed chemo, I was devastated because, at the same time, I'm still in Dubai, which, Dubai there's a lot of pressure to look good here. And then also being the beauty editor of Cosmo. That is a big magazine. And people assume a beauty editor will have a certain aesthetic. And my brother had cancer when he was a baby. He was 1 year old. He had a cancer called neuroblastoma, and I watched his hair fall out and his lashes and eyebrows and everything. And I thought to myself, how is this going to happen to me? And also, I'm creating this beauty brand. Like, how? Yeah. And so I ended up going, of course, through the chemo, and I tried cold capping to save my hair because I still wanted to hold on to that external beauty. And unfortunately, it didn't work because I had the toughest type of chemotherapy for breast cancer patients. There's loads of different chemotherapies, and breast cancer is like a spectrum. So depending on what type of breast cancer you have, because there's many different types, and what stage it's at, and all these other little factors, you get your course of treatment. So mine was the toughest one. And they said to me before I started the cold capping, you only have a 50% chance of it working. And I thought, well, that's still a 50% chance it could work. And usually I feel pretty lucky. So I went for it. In 3 weeks after my first infusion, in 48 hours, I lost 80% of my hair. Oh, wow. I woke up in the morning and it was almost as if my hair had been teased, but everywhere it was teased, it came out. So it was stuck in the hair that was still on my head. So I was just gently pulling it out, following all the protocols of the cold capping, because there are hundreds. And I couldn't believe how much hair was in my hands. And it became very evident very quickly that cold capping did not work and I was going to have to shave my head. So I went through that, ended up losing my lashes, my brows, my skin, which normally I'm known for my skin became completely covered in acne, and that was a side effect of the steroids. And in only 5 months, a very short period of time, I gained over 15 kgs. So one day I was sitting in my office working on Three of Cups, and in my office I have 2 big sliding glass doors for this closet, but they're mirrors. And I looked over and I just saw this person I didn't recognize. I was wearing this tent dress because that's all I could fit in at that point. And I was also incredibly swollen from all of the different medications they had given me. And I just thought to myself, who is this person? I was still thinking of myself as, you know, this size 4, beautiful, long-haired, you know, Dubai beauty girl. And now I looked like a character from a movie, like a scary character. And I got up and I just looked in the mirror at myself, and like I looked into my eyes and I was looking at my face and I thought, can I still see the beauty in me? And I realized that the beauty that I've always had nothing to do with the external. It was who I am in the inside. It was this glow that no matter how much chemo I got, it could not put that glow out. And it was a real spiritual moment for me. It was almost as if that moment put this pair of glasses on me, and it was a new lens to look at myself, and not just myself, but others through in terms of their beauty. And we always hear, you know, beauty is skin deep, or everyone is beautiful, or you're only beautiful if you have money. All these types of things that we see on Instagram, right? But I realized at that point in time that we're all just these spiritual beings in these human bodies, and we're here to all do the same thing, which is experience life in whichever ways we've chosen through our souls. And I just realized that actually everyone really is beautiful. We're all here doing
in your
our
own
very
unique
best
way.
Yeah.
And I guess when you go through such a life-changing event, I suppose you stop seeking external validation, and you're just so grateful to be alive and healthy and happy every day.
I have 2 teenagers. You know, I have a lot to live for. I also have a husband, I have my beauty brand, I have my dog, but most importantly, I have myself. And you know, I'm here to experience, and I want to experience things. And it is so incredibly freeing, shedding just the thought of other people's judgments or their projections. I literally do not care anymore. And I feel like the freest person in the world. I really do. It's incredible.
It's liberating.
Yeah, I feel like I'm high all the time. It's like I just don't care.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a great feeling it's an amazing place to be in.
It is. It really
I wish
is.
I was like this back when I was a kid, and I've always had this, because I could not even imagine the things I would have been able to do and manifest. But everything's an experience. Everything's a learning
for
lesson.
a reason.
Yep. And so with 3 of Cups, it's just saying you're already whole the way you are. You're already perfect. You're beautiful. Here are some incredible products that you are going to love putting on your skin that is going to just enhance that inner glow. And it's products that are so good for you, and everything is so thoughtful. Everything's made with intention. And it's just going to help you connect even more to your higher self.
Oh, I can't wait to try it. I can't wait to try it.
And that's the whole ethos, really, of the brand.
That's great.
Beauty with a frequency, skincare with a soul.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Speaking of being grateful, how important is practicing gratitude for you, and how do you incorporate it into your daily life?
So this is kind of funny, because my daughter is obsessed with Coldplay. She loves Coldplay. Coldplay came to Dubai, and to Abu Dhabi. She went to 1 concert. Since then, she's been to 3 other Coldplay concerts, and she's pushing me for another one this summer in Boston. We just went to one in Hong Kong. And one of the things that the Chris Martin, the lead singer, says is, you know, say thank you. Thank you to when you're in the bathroom. Say thank you to the attendant cleaning the bathroom. Say thank you to everything. Thank you to the person that made this dress. You know, thank you to you for having me on the podcast. And I really do that all the time. I live in gratitude because I truly am so incredibly thankful. Every morning before I got out of bed, I always say thank you to my body. I say thank you to my spirit guides for keeping me safe during the night. I tend to see a lot of things in my dreams. They sort of take me around and show me stuff. So I always say thank you for those insights and experiences. I just literally live in gratitude and always thank you to myself. And it's just, it's another one of those things that makes me feel like I'm high all the time. I'm constantly in gratitude.
It's beautiful though. The more grateful you are, the more I feel the right energy flows into your life.
Exactly.
And then the right people come in and the
Yep.
right opportunities.
Yeah.
And everything.
And also being in gratitude makes you a much more powerful manifester. So it's all connected.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
You're now sharing your story publicly. What has vulnerability and storytelling taught you about healing and connection?
Great question. So I actually didn't share anything until I got through chemotherapy. So I kind of went silent on Instagram for a good, I don't know, since I would say December to the following July or August. And when I came out with the story, I came out through Cosmo with, what I'd gone through. And then it was sort of the floodgates started and lots of people were messaging me, and I felt like it was making my energy very leaky because I was very weak still from going through all of that with my body. And I would post about stuff, but then I'd kind of take a break from it. Then I'd post about stuff. And I just recently, I was sitting in my bed one morning and I decided to do this carousel post about just how my body has changed so much through going through everything I went through. And I don't know exactly what triggered it. I may have seen something when I was going through my feed before that, sometimes when people, they pinch their waist in and, with Facetune, but you can see because then the curves, it gets warped, right? I think I saw something like that and I thought, you know what? In a world of fakeness, I'm just going to be real. So I posted this carousel that showed my body at the heaviest it's ever been in a Temu swimsuit that was probably a size extra, extra large. And last year, after we finished chemo, we went to the Maldives, my husband and my kids and I. And I mean, I was bald, I was huge, I was so swollen, I was covered in acne. And we go to the Maldives to, be sexy, to show off, to wear gorgeous clothes and bikinis and caftans and just, be like a mermaid, just enjoying the sun. And I just felt like I was Ursula from, the Little Mermaid. And when I was there, I thought to myself, you know what, just let it go. Let it go, just be you. You're never gonna see any of these people again.
Enjoy the moment with your family.
So I did. And sometimes when I wore dresses, I had to wear the shorts underneath my dresses because my thighs were rubbing against each other and I was getting a rash. And I mean, there was lots of little pivots I had to make, but at the end of the day, I just got through freaking chemotherapy. That was really hard. So screw it. I'm just gonna enjoy myself. So on a whim, I just decided to make this carousel and explain, my thought process and how I just kind of decided to let that go and just be really proud of myself. And it went viral. First time I've ever gone viral.
That's
in a Temu swimsuit. All those years that I tried so hard. Being perfect, wearing something designer, all this stuff. All it took really was
being real
in a 10-dirham swimsuit. That's all it took.
But working in the fashion industry and beauty industry, there is so much pressure to look perfect, to curate your content in a certain way, to fit in, to get, to move up the ladder or to get invited and stuff. And sometimes it's draining. It's exhausting.
It is exhausting. It is so exhausting. There's so much of it that's not necessary. No. And the thing is too, I've met a lot of celebrities and influencers and high profile influencers. No one looks like the curated pictures you see on Instagram. And you won't know that if you're 8,000 miles away from them and you just think that they have this specific life that you assume that they have based on their curated beautiful feeds.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you forget that actually everyone is just a human. No one is a superhuman. They're just a human that has fallen into this, portal of fame. And actually, there's an actor, I can't think of who it is, or singer, maybe it was Robbie Williams. I don't even really know who he is, but he posted something. It popped up on my feed, and he said that people just are a fan of fame. And so I think we just have these weird mindsets. So in real life, though, they're just people. They're people that you just see on your screens, and they have the same issues.
It's normal human beings, yeah.
Yes, they have acne, they have scars, they have everything we have.
That's so true.
And, you know, it's kind of just, in a world of fake, be real.
True. Next question is my favorite question. Can you share a specific manifestation experience or success story that has shaped your outlook on life?
Ooh, oh my gosh, there's so many. Well, okay, this is my favorite manifestation story. So a few years ago, way before the breast cancer, I was going on a girls' trip with my best friend who is local. And I was starting to get really into my spirituality and manifestations, and we went to Bali together. And she's like, all right, well, if you're so good at manifesting, manifest us a better room. So we had booked at a really nice resort in Uluwatu, and we had a 2-bedroom villa type thing. And I was like, challenge accepted. So I did my whole little ritual on the plane, and when we got there, now the thing is with manifesting is you just allow it to happen. You try not to control everything, every aspect of how it's going to happen. You say what you want, and then you let the universe do its thing. So that's what I did. And we got to our villa, and the electricity wasn't working. And it was kind of funny. And so they said to us, okay, well, just wait and see. Tomorrow morning, we'll check it out. It was really late at night. It was probably 1 or 2 a.m. The next morning, everything was just, I felt like I was in Stranger Things looking back on it. Everything's blinking.
Flickering,
and just going on and off and on and off. So she looked at me and she's like, what did you do? And I was like, I don't know. And so they had their engineer come, and he said, okay, this isn't fixable. Like, this is going to take some serious time. So the manager of the resort comes to us, and she's like, ladies, I'm so sorry, and we're going to try to, just change your villa. But it happened that the hotel was pretty booked pretty well, solid then. So we ended up getting this villa that was the best villa in the hotel.
No
it was
way.
an Anatara hotel. It was 2 floors, indoor, outdoor living. It was 3 bedrooms. It was the one that they always use in their promotional
ads and
stuff.
campaigns.
It was unbelievable. I didn't even know places like this existed. And it was the most gorgeous. We had a really long trip, and we just were lavish in luxury. And it was so fun. And one day when we were there, and I was in this pool that was an infinity pool, and the sunsets were massive because we were on this cliff. And it was this beautiful sunset, and I had next to me this floating tray with like little bites to eat and a coconut water to drink and the coconut, the whole thing. And I said to her, I should write a book on how I do this, because manifesting, you can manifest material things, which is fun, and you should. Why not? But you can also manifest some pretty incredible, experiences or just life-changing movements, moments, anything. And I said, I should write a book on this. And she said, yeah, you should.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
We all need a bit of help.
I went home, and I ended up so I went home, and then it was back to Dubai, and it was my friend's 40th birthday. And it was right after, it was 2021. So COVID had already happened. So I went to her birthday party, not thinking to myself, Lauren, really think this through, because she's a teacher and all her friends are teachers. So all of a sudden it's still COVID era, and I'm in this room with all teachers, and of course I got COVID. So I ended up having about 12 days where I was just in bed. I was so sick, but then I wrote my book, and I wrote it as an ebook. and I put it on my website. And even this morning, someone messaged me and she said, "Oh, the link isn't working." And I thought, "Oh, that's strange." So people are still buying it.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
I need to get a copy.
Yeah. Oh, I'll send you one. I should actually update it because I feel like I have a lot more depth to me now since I've gone through breast cancer. But at that time, it's where I was, and so many people use it, and they say that my techniques of how I do it work for them, and they've like sent me messages of, "I manifested this, I manifested that."
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So for me, it was just it was fun, and we ended up having the most amazing trip. She was like, "All right, now I'm a believer." And then I wrote a book out of it.
I bet you're going to get all free trips with your girlfriends now.
Yeah, seriously. I'm a manifesting. I even manifested my way through breast cancer.
Love that. I love that. I believe in that to the core.
Yeah.
Definitely works.
Absolutely.
If you detach from the outcome.
Yes. Yeah. And just let the universe do its thing.
Yeah. I didn't know you had a background in engineering, nursing, and media. How do you merge logic and intuition when creating skincare that speaks to both science and soul?
Oh, that's a great question. So yes, I am actually a mechanical engineer with a concentration in biomechanics because I have really strict parents that told me I had to be an engineer, and they were scary. So I listened to them. But when I was in engineering school, I met my husband. So it kind of all worked out. Yeah. And I was always just good academically, so it was, the schoolwork came naturally to me, but was it my passion? No way. I was always buying Cosmo and reading Cosmo. But when I was a little bit older, after I graduated from engineering school, my husband and I moved to Chicago, and it was actually for his first job as an engineer. And when we were there, I thought, well, I need to do something. And I grew up very sheltered. I really did not know anything about the world around me. And I did not know things like marketing, PR existed. I didn't know that I could be a news anchor if I wanted to, or I could be a beauty editor if I wanted to. So I decided to go to nursing school because my mom was a nurse, and I thought, well, I guess that's the only other thing available to me. But what the engineering and the nursing and the sciences gave me was a really good understanding of how things work. And I was able to then pivot that into my passion of beauty and skincare and makeup products and really start to understand the ingredients. And that same friend that I did the trip with where I manifested, she was constantly sending me the ingredients lists on bottles of skincare and saying, "Is this good? Is this good?" And it forced me to start really researching things because I didn't actually know. And I started to really understand ingredients, what they were meant to do. And this is before ChatGPT. So I was Googling every single thing on boxes. And I wrote them all down in a notebook, and I just learned ingredients. And actually that then got me the job at Cosmo, because when the new editor-in-chief came out, I said, "Oh, I know everything about skincare ingredients. You should hire me to write some articles." And she was like, "Okay." And the first piece I wrote trended in their top 10 for a while.
That's
wild. She was like, "Write more." So it's all kind of connected.
It's connected, yeah.
Yeah, so the logical side of me, that's kind of sciencey side, which I think still could be argued to be spiritual, but I understand chemistry, I understand ingredients, I understand how things work together, I understand how things don't work together, and I love it. I mean, using my own ingredients knowledge, I've really turned back the clock on my own skin. I recently had my skin assessed to see what age it is. I'm 42, and it came out to be 33 years old. And
that is insane. And you do have beautiful skin.
Thank you. But that's after going through chemo and radiation. So I know what I'm doing. And I've always wanted to have a skincare brand. It comes from a past life, I've been told, in Atlantis. Not the hotel, but the civilization. Yeah. And I apparently in that time had my own apothecary, and I would make like little tinctures to sell to people of different skincare products. So I'm doing some sort of, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it, but I'm doing some sort of closing out of that karma by creating this brand. And I've wanted to have my own brand since I was a young girl. But prior to moving to Dubai, when my husband and I decided we were going to move here, I was starting to look to see if there were makeup manufacturers in Dubai. Like I've always had these ideas in my mind. So for me, I'm blending that logic with that spiritual side, blending the skin with the soul. That is just really,
that's rare.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
But it's who I am. It's just my essence. So for me, it just comes very naturally.
And are you getting the products manufactured here?
No, they're manufactured in France.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah, and it's actually, I'm only coming out with one product to start with because it's self-funded.
Okay.
So I'm coming out with one product, and it's actually something that's never come across my desk as a beauty editor or as like a content creator, beauty. I hate the word influencer, so I'm just going to say blogger.
Don't we all?
So it's never come across my desk before, and it's just something I thought up that I thought, oh my gosh, every single woman would love this.
Oh my God, I'm excited now. I can't wait to try it. That's
I'm excited
amazing.
for you. I can't wait.
Great.
I can't wait.
Last question, Lauren. What advice would you give to someone currently battling breast cancer regarding self-care and maintaining a sense of beauty?
So, it's tough because as much as you might want to control situations, when you're going through chemotherapy, everything's just out of control. And also with radiation to an extent. One thing that I did that was so small, but it made me feel like I was still somehow connected to that old me, was every night I would put a little bit of cuticle oil on my nails. And I just felt like it was something really small. I didn't need a lot of energy to do it, which was great because I did not have a lot of energy, but I still felt like I was taking care of myself. And, it's those little rituals that we do, whatever the woman particularly likes doing, just makes a big difference. And I still felt like I was taking care of myself in a way. I did still do my full skincare routines. And prior to starting chemo, I saw a dermatologist that was within the Mediclinic system. And she asked me for skincare advice. She's like, wait, what's your routine? And I was like, okay. So I told her, but she said to me, just don't do any Botox and don't do any lasers, which I would not have done anyways, would not have had the energy for that. But I think, it's knowing that, first of all, chemotherapy is not a forever thing, and that you are definitely going to not look the same, but things bounce back, life bounces back. You can do little things here and there to make yourself feel better, and do skincare on your bald head, because that's what I did. This head had retinol on it. It had vitamin C.
I bet it was glowing.
Yeah, it was an amazing scalp. And now it's being completely ignored because the hair is coming back. But it's just remembering, it's thinking of where you are, honoring where you are, and trusting that in the future you're going to be able to get it back. So just do little things, nurture yourself, and just take the experience in for what it is.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey, your thoughts. I'm pretty sure this interview is going to inspire a lot of people, just as I am right now. I'm in awe of you, honestly.
Oh, thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank you.